I'm going to come right out of the gate and say my experience with the Pokemon franchise is limited. I got big on the trading cards, the show, and Pokemon Go throughout my life. I basically did everything except play an actual mainline game. Until a few years ago where I did, in fact, put under 6 hours into Ultra Moon, so some might say I barely played that too. This neglect will continue for now as I've yet again been hooked on another non-mainline Pokemon game. Pokémon Unite is a free-to-play MOBA produced by Tencent, and for some reason I've been hooked on it since it released, despite the issues this game has. This game does have it all from 3 forms of microtransactions to a fun and slightly addicting gameplay loop, while doing its best to incorporate as much Pokemon as possible. But first, for those unfamiliar with a MOBA, it's a multiplayer online battle arena. 2 teams clash in an action game where you must work as a team to complete whatever objective the game asks of you. In most cases, it's destroying enemy towers. These games aren't so much about killing your opponents. They only really serve to hinder your goal, I think. I've only really played Pokémon Unite and a small bit of League of Legends, so I will stop this segment before I lose my head. Pokémon Unite sees 2 teams of 5 going at it to score basketball shots in the opposing team's goal. Putting in a certain number of points into a goal destroys it and you move on. The team with the most points wins. The game offers a ranked 5v5, a non-ranked 5v5, a 4v4 and a 3v3. The different game modes have slight tweaks in order to make them more varied and offer up different gameplay scenarios. So, from the initial premise, this game doesn't really offer anything interesting gameplay-wise to talk about, but at the same time I have been pretty hooked on this game. I'm going to bet it's the casual nature of it, the satisfying controls, and those challenges, which are probably chief among the reasons I've played so much. Having fun characters is one thing, but the only reason I found myself quickly logging on before the day ends is these damn challenges. And if there's any aspect of game design I can highlight in this video, it's the power of those damn challenges. This game has 3 different types of challenges: regular challenges, event challenges, and battle pass challenges. All change each day, and completing them is simple and rewards you with currency or battle pass tiers. Including challenges like this means that players will be more compelled to play daily to complete those challenges, and for a game that thrives on daily active users, this is vital, hence why they've put so many of them in. The more players that play daily, the more opportunity there is for a purchase of microtransactions to take place, which this game also has a lot of, and being as though this game is free to play, that is also vital. So it seems Tencent knows what they're doing when it comes to making a free to play experience. While we're on the topic of microtransactions, this game does have a lot of them, but no one really cares because again, it's free to play. This game has outfits, a battle pass, and pay to win elements through buying currency to increase the power of your held items, which are items that provide stat boosts to your Pokemon permanently. The player base isn't large enough for players that have paid to win to be a regular occurrence, though I could see this being an issue when the player base starts to fall off. And in saying that, it still sucks that there are pay to win elements in this game. It seems pretty sly the way they implemented them. It's almost hidden away, and I really wish they would remove them. The outfits look nice, but are very scarce at the moment. As for the battle pass, it is just your standard battle pass. The most interesting thing in it are the Pokemon outfits on the first and last tiers. Speaking of those Pokemon, this game features Pokemon that you actually play as and not just tell what to do. Each Pokemon does a good job of feeling unique and possessing something that sets it apart from the rest, even if that something unique is singular. They also have an intended role they're meant to fill, but much like a series of games that I have way too many embarrassing feelings towards, each character is fairly lenient with its use case. As the game begins, you start as the lowest evolution of that Pokemon, if it has one, and as you level up, the Pokemon evolves, as well as gaining the abilities when it does evolve. You gain XP through killing wild Pokemon that roam the arena. That leads me nicely onto the fact that every character has that one thing that makes them OP. Zeraora has Discharge, Gengar has Sludge Bomb Hex, Ninetales has a freezing ability, Charizard has Flamethrower, the list goes on. Because of this, instead of the game feeling like a competitive MOBA, it feels more like a casual arcade title. The skill ceiling feels very low. You're basically as good as the character you're playing allows without much room to improve. This fact isn't too bad a lot of the time, however with characters like Gengar they really need to address it because it can really suck to play against. Like I mentioned, this game feels very casual, which is probably what keeps me playing. It's just a shut your brain off and have fun kind of game. A fact that has this game's simplicity and the characters to blame. This game also heavily streamlines the MOBA experience by having you pick your stat boosting items before the match instead of during the match. Once you've picked your setup, items are out of sight and out of mind, leaving you to just focus on abilities during a match, which is a very simple decision because you only have the choice of 2. So far this game has 21 characters with plans to release 2 more in a not too distant future, and beyond that, well, they're not running out of characters anytime soon. Outside of the matches, this game can offer many currencies and 3 shops for buying various different items. One for buying licenses to play as Pokemon, another for customizing your trainer, as well as buying held items and a place to exchange your currencies. This is the same place where you can live out your pay to win fantasies. Lastly, there's the Pokemon costume shop, featuring again not that much, which is disappointing because the ones we do have look amazing. To round things off, I'm going to just throw in some interesting facts that I've picked up from playing. Killing the Zapdos that spawns in the center of the map is a massive game changer. Even if your team is lagging behind massively for the entire game, killing Zapdos could very well turn the tide drastically. The opposite of that is Dreadnought. Killing this Pokemon seems to have little to no effect on the outcome of a match, at least in my experience. As the match progresses, the wild Pokemon evolve into their final stage evolution, like Apom to Ampopon for example. Holding left stick is the quickest way to get to the Pokemon you wish to select on the selection menu. And lastly, you can see any enemy hiding in a bush by entering it yourself. And I think that just about fills my interesting facts quota. So now I've ran for everything, what do I think about this whole thing? This game is a fun time. It's not the most mechanically in-depth game, it doesn't do anything exceptional either, but despite its shortcomings, the game overall is alright. It's not often that something snatches my time like this. It's very easy to get into with its simplified elements, non-competitive feel, and a skill ceiling that only goes as high as the character you're playing as lets you. The reason I believe this game feels so unremarkable is the fact it's not trying anything new. It's a pretty play-it-safe experience. Also, it's a slave to its live service free-to-play model. It can't let the player have too much fun, else they'll exhaust the content too quickly and daily active users will fall. Daily challenges can be fine, but being as though it's the only way to progress through the battle pass is annoying, especially if you play a lot, which shows a good example of the drawbacks to the methods implemented to encourage you to come back. I really want the ability to get to tier 90 as quick as I can. I'm more than willing to put in the hours, but the challenges say no. The character balancing is not that great as of writing this video. It's something that definitely needs to be addressed as soon as possible, as sooner or later players will stop being willing to cope with people's abuse of Gengar, Ninetales and Gengar. Yeah, it's mostly Gengar.